stakeholders, particularly the Ministry of ICT, because I don't think we will discuss the issue of e-learning conclusively without understanding the position of the Ministry of ICT in terms of provision of technology.
Order, Honorable Sotsi. Actually, you are out of order because the issues we all know ICT cuts across all sectors of the government, all of them. But as of now, we are dealing mainly with e-learning and the questions asked by Honorable Washali to the State Department, to the Ministry of Education. So kindly, if there is need, we shall invite that particular ministry or department to come and they shall ask the questions. I know that. So be guided on that. And members, let's allow the CS also to answer these questions so that we make progress. Because if we just interrupt, we will not move. Kindly. Allow the CS to answer. Honorable Gogo, do you have a point of order? What's the issue?
Yeah, there is a point of order, Honorable Chair. Thank you very much.
Yes.
As much as the CS is interested in addressing the nation, he's addressing a parliamentary committee. So
yes.
He should restrict himself to addressing the issues the questions that have been raised. And he answers the questions that have been raised, and he answers pertinent committee issues.
Yes.
Not what the public is seeing.
But let me also guide members that it is not robotics here. It is not about the CS being so much on particular issues. There are certain issues which is in his own discretion. If he thinks it is within the question, he can just veer off and just for purposes of our information. So if we just put him in a robotic system where he can't turn left or right, it's not going to be proper. Let's allow him, because he has a discretion and he has understanding of his sector, he can actually tell us, these are the issues. If he needs to inform us, he can inform us and inform the public. So let's allow him to really take us through. Thereafter, we can allow us to ventilate on this. Be guided on that. Honorable CS, proceed.
I wish to confirm that currently the physical infrastructure such as electricity and internet connectivity is not available to all learners. The ministry has been leveraging on electricity infrastructure that has already been rolled out by the national grid through the last mile program. The ministry has also been applying the same strategy by leveraging on the increased internet connectivity by the Ministry of ICT and Broadcasting. The ministry will continue to liaise with two ministries in view to taking advantage of any additional electricity connections and internet connectivity so as to reach as many learners as possible. Mr. Chairman, question 3. In addition to TV and radio lessons, the Kenya Education Cloud has proved useful for the candidates who are due to sit for the national examinations at the end of this year. The cloud, whose domain is www.kec.ac.ke, hosts interactive digital content, radio lessons on demand, e-books for all levels, to serve the pupils and teachers, and online courses for teachers on curriculum, integration, and the use of ICT. Digital uploading from the internal sources, radio and TV sections of KICD, and external publishers is continuous. All digital content is accessible free of charge during the period of COVID-19 pandemic. In preparation of the programming and transmission schedules for both radio and TV, KICD is paying special attention to the candidates who will be sitting for national examination at the end of this year, including increasing the number of subjects covered, as well as upscaling the digital revision materials for classes. Number 4, Mr. Chairman, Quality assurance and standards officers have conducted a survey to gather information on online and media learning. The survey was guided by 5 indications. 1, awareness of radio and television lessons on KICD Edu Channel and other online programs, quality of teaching being offered via online and other media, quality of supervision of learning by teachers. Mr. Chairman, since I can't say anything else, or number 5. Chair, just like other sectors, COVID-19 has also adversely affected education sector. Too much for one minister. I submit, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. You're through with the questions, and I just want to ask members that the responses are on your tablets. Kindly log in so that you can get to see them on the e-Parliament. I'll just give the first response, the chance to Honorable Jomo to
the confusion that this virus has created. The only Bwana CS, which I would also want to invite you to share, is that I don't know whether you will regard this as going through the syllabus, because our level of syllabus, in which case then you would have to test them based on the e-learning, or you will just have to go back to where you left from and then proceed from there. This we are saying because we have the knowledge of the rural Kenya, and it's good that you also agree with us that with the current development status of this country, not everybody has the advantage of having electricity and all these facilities that we are trying to use as a means of teaching our learners. That is our fear as chair, and I would just want us to proceed from there.
I think you've asked that. The CS, you can respond to that. Then I open the floor.
Mr. Chairman, the Chief Whip wants to know...
Honorable Jerusha, just allow the CS to finish that and then...
There was something I was adding on top.
You wanted to?
Yeah, what I wanted to add...
No, you will just ask. You will give you the time.
Okay.
Yes.
Honorable Washali is asking whether when we open, children would be assessed on e-learning. I want to say this. Education is not just about exams. Education is a continuous process. Examination is just one of those things. So for those children who have been getting...
Ministry, because he has said, finally we shall again restart the syllabus from where we stopped. And because we know that the minister announced that the holiday has been extended, because they are on holiday, is it possible for them, they still hear that this is on, then they say that there's something hidden somewhere?
So essentially you're saying we stop online learning, the TV transmissions and radio programs. Is that your question?
Yes, so that they are all at par.
Honorable Professor, yes?
Thank you, Chairman. I think mine would be just to find out. As a ministry, and the CS as the head of the ministry, we should not be seen not to be in place to address the crisis.
Thank you, Chair. Mine is just an issue I want to, if the ministry can consider through its structures, that the disadvantaged students are the ones in the rural areas where they cannot access electricity and even the internet, and also in the urban setup, in the where we have the slums and all that. Is it possible, because the teachers are still on payroll and they are still getting salaries, in the villages, can we have some structures where we can have some monitoring of the students who are just who are in the villages, so that they can actually get some information from the ministry through the sub-counties and all that, so that they can access the running materials?
Thank you. Eve Abara.
Thank you, Chairman. But my question, I think, in a way, has been asked, because I was taking it up from the point when the minister said that when the government opens, whenever they will open. And actually, it has been asked when I wanted to know, can you please tell us what are your plans? And my colleague asked the scenarios. If it's going to take the same thing, if we are going to... I'm a member of parliament for the Rakanithi County and a friend of this committee.
Yes, member for Gishugu.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Geshimo Gethenji, MP Geshugu. I'm a friend to the committee today. And may I proceed to ask my question?
No. Just introduction, yes.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Songondo Were, MP for Kaspol and a friend of the committee.
Yes. Next member.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Honorable Elisha Ochieng Odhiambo, the MP for Game and a friend of this committee.
Engineer Zambia.
Engineer Zambia, member of Parliament, Kilome constituency, and a member of this committee.
Honorable Danga.
Geoffrey Magoha Odanga, MP for Matayos and of the Committee of Education.
Honorable Kolosh.
Ahmed Kolosh Mohammed, MP Wajir West.
Honorable.
My name is Mushangi Eric, Member of Parliament for Runyenje's constituency and a member of the committee.
Makali.
Makali Mulu is my name. I'm Big Central, friend of the committee.
And Dr.
I'm Dr. James Nikal, Member of Parliament for Seme constituency in Kisumu County and a friend of the committee.
Thank you. Any other officer who came in late to introduce themselves?
Thank you, Chair. My name is Tom Mulati, Acting Director, Technical Education.
Thank you. CS.
My name is Zach Kinuthia, CS Education.
Thank you. CS, now you can proceed, answer those questions, and then we have the last round.
To introduce myself?
Oh.
Yeah, Professor Jacqueline Odwal, nominated Member of Parliament and a friend of the committee.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. I will answer some of the questions, and others I will refer to the PS Belio Kipsang, especially the one on regulations and the one on special needs. But let me start by answering Honorable Jerusha that the government of the Republic of Kenya at this time is not going to consider stopping e-learning, because I keep saying that our glass is half full, is not half empty, and that all our children are equal. Those who can access content, they will get access of the content. And I would also like to inform you, Mr. Chairman, that we have private schools which, in addition, have arranged extra content. We have not stopped them. This is a free country, a government of the people by the people, so it is not proper to stop, even if it is 50%, to stop so that you can be the same as the one who is not getting. I think it's better to allow the ones to get and hope that the period is as short as possible, and when the time comes, we shall empower the others. For Professor Gutu, Honorable Professor Gutu, yes, indeed, when I took over this job as a cabinet secretary, I had a very simplistic mind. And of course, when this crisis came, I had 3 scenarios which I was ready to talk about. But I readily realized that the first scenario was not even an option. And when I consulted upwards, I said, let us look at the situation a little bit more. And I would want to promise this House that maybe in another 2 weeks, whether we're in this House or in public, we shall have the scenarios that we are looking for. But the scenarios must be informed by what is happening in the Ministry of Health. And therefore, if you feel that we have delayed with this scenario, it's not intentional. It is just because we don't want to come and give you scenarios which, after about a month, look as if they are very uninformed and not significant. But I can tell you where we have reached now, the scenarios must come sooner, and that those involved in the decision-making process of those scenarios will be many stakeholders and not just the ministry. I will leave the fourth one for Belio Kipsang and go to my brother Engineer Zambia. Honorable Engineer Zambia, the government has 5 cabinet subcommittees on COVID. And there's one running thread there: stay at home. If you have no work, stay in your house. Well, the teachers are being told to stay in their house. You wouldn't want a teacher to carry a corona to a child in his house. I may want to let you know that in Italy, what has happened is that there was a preacher there who was going from house to house. He died, and the rest is history. So I very much doubt whether, even if this point was taken to the committees that we sit, that it will get sympathy, and that my hope is that we are able to contain this pandemic quickly. I want to thank Honorable Obara for her kind words, and ask Belio Kipsang to address himself to the issue of the 2 questions asked by the Honorable gentleman from West Pokot.